Had a lot of good walkthrough sessions, a lot of longer meetings, and feel pretty good where we're at right now.
How's the offense changed, Gus, with Zeke being out?
Well, you see some of the same philosophies. They are who they are. They still got that really good offensive line up front, and I think where they do such a good job is running the ball. They're still very effective at it. And it's not just one scheme. They have zone scheme, stretch with pullers. They have, you see a little pistol option. So, in a short week, all the things that they do, we just got to be really on our rules.
You deal with a fair amount of mobile quarterbacks, but is Dak sort of maybe even a little level above some of those other guys in terms of...
Well, we faced a pretty good one last week in the second half. He's pretty mobile too. So, when we went into that game knowing that he can extend the play, plays last longer, same thing with Dak. Also, the ability in the red zone, the quarterback draw that they do, he'll scramble for first downs on third down. So, I think you just have to be aware that if you think a play lasts long, anticipate it lasting longer.
Talk about playing on Thanksgiving and what it means as being in the league to be able to have that spot.
Yeah, I think it's great. What I found out, especially this week, I think when you look at it, and you do get a little bit of time, I can remember with our family, we'd eat and everybody on the couch, and, hopefully more of them are watching the game than we did as a family. Half of them were sleeping, I think. But I think it brings back great memories. I know our players are excited about it. And, you talk about Thanksgiving, a time to be grateful for so many things, your family and, this facility and the players that we coach and the coaching staff. But, and then on top of it, you get a chance to play in a game. And, it's a great environment. How can't you get excited for this opportunity? So a lot of things to be grateful for, including this game.
It's one thing to play in this game, but it's another to make a statement. You guys are forward to the last 6 games. The defense has played the game they did. You talk about the opportunity to not just play in the state, but to show who you really are?
We don't talk much about making a statement. We just talk about, hey, we got another opportunity. Each of these opportunities provide a test that we need. We have an idea where we want to go with this defense and what we want to get accomplished, and this is another test on the way. Another championship opportunity, just like every week.
That was kind of funny because last week I think you were asked, how do you get those, balls to be caught and go back for touch? You scored 2 touchdowns, defense. How much was it that special day for these guys and that defense?
Yeah, you don't get days like that very often, but we talk in terms they come in bunches, and I think that's the players' mindset. When they got one, they knew that, hey, we just got to continue to do our thing, and, opportunities will come, and just be ready for it. And it was nice to see.
Joey Bosa, obviously the quickest 20 sacks in NFL history. What is it about, or how much more sound is he or advanced at his age than maybe other guys?
Well, I think that's it's hard to compare him to others other than just conversations I've had with players, that have played in the NFL that say, usually it takes 5 or 6 years to kind of come up with your pass rush plan and how you want to attack people, where I think for him, knowing just his second year, I'm sure he had some of it. Giff has done a great job with him, and but he just feels like he has a plan already at this stage in his career, and that's what makes him unique. And, you kind of look at Joey and you say, all right, what's his game? What does he do? And he has really a lot of tools that he can use based on the tackles he sees.
Have you seen him fit better maybe in the 4-3 scheme than what you saw him fitting in last year?
Well, we do some 4-3 things, and then I think there's at times we look like a 3-4 team. So we put him in both those positions, but you're right. I think he's in a situation where he's playing more 4-3 principles than 3-4.
There's been a lot of tension with Joey and Melvin, what they've been able to do for pass rush, but how much are they being helped by the inside guys like Legit and Brandon?
Right. Well, I think those guys, you're seeing we're kind of mixing up some guys on the inside, again, based on game plan. But those guys providing push or, using their initial quickness, now it puts pressure on the inside and just opens up more things on the outside. So you can't have a really good outside rush without good inside presence. And, I think we're rolling guys in there, and you see D-Square in there and Corey and all those guys are providing some rush for us on the inside, or at least some push that helps us on the perimeter.
As you look at Dallas on film, how different is their line with Tyron Smith with them?
Well, I mean, he's a phenomenal player. We anticipate seeing him, so we've been studying a lot on him. Just his movement skills. He's a great pass protector, great run blocker. But then even out in the open on some of their screens and some of their toss plays or their schemes where they stretch with pullers and things like that, he's so athletic on the perimeter and the way he handles his body and stuff. So yeah, he's elite. I think any offensive line would like that as an addition. So to say, hey, they're still, without him, they were doing some good things. They were able to run the ball, but he's a special player.
The last month or so, has that helped the defense in terms of confidence and momentum, or have they always been pretty
I haven't seen a team that ever lacked confidence. I've always seen a group or a unit that was very strong, and they knew that, hey, we just got to keep improving, and I think they saw the improvement, which I think that was big for us. They saw us each week getting better and better and better, and they had some victories along the way. So I think that was a big part of it, but it was never, ever a lack of confidence. It was more of a, hey, this is wrong, we got to get it right. And, let's attack that, and we start attacking some of these things that are creeping into the game, and then let's see where we're at.
What's your assessment of how Casey Hayward has played, how he's made the change from going to the Pags this year?
Yeah, it is a different system, as far as what we're asking him to do. Now, he played press last year, so there's some similarities, but play in and play out what we're asking him to do. I think he's done a good job. The corners have done a good job on the perimeter. Knock on wood, that's got to keep going. But what I think has been impressive about the corners is their tackling. We made a big emphasis on, you're not just a corner here to cover. We need you, and you got to be a big part of this tackling. And Trevor made a great play on the perimeter last week in the game. So I think that's a big part of their game now, where they're understanding just the importance of how much we need them, not only in the pass game and the run game. And Casey's been a big part of that as well.
All right, thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you. See ya.
Probably not if Jason was like fully healthy.
I never saw that.
2 years, yeah. That's the thing. Like, he can't get on the field.
What does it mean for you to be able to play on Thanksgiving?
That's awesome. That was one of the first things I noticed when the schedule came out. It's probably a good chance it's the only time we get that opportunity. So I'm looking forward to it.
You had never played at all on Thanksgiving?
No.
It's pretty cool for that, knowing what it means for families around the country that are going to be watching. You're going to be one of the few games that are going to be on.
Yeah.
That's be pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think obviously growing up in a football family, we were certainly watching on Thanksgiving, but I think even the families that aren't really into football are watching. It's just part of it, goes with it, especially that mid-afternoon game. So, yeah, it's awesome. And you always known forever the Cowboys and the Lions are always playing Thanksgiving home games, and so to get that opportunity is definitely awesome.
Well, how do you carry over the momentum of scoring 50 points on Sunday into Thursday's game on a short week? But now you know you can do it, and it's time to show the national TV audience.
Yeah, I've always said I don't know that momentum carries one week to the next, but I do think in a short week that hopefully we can stay in kind of that rhythm and in that mode. I don't know that scoring 50 points doesn't happen very often. I think only one other time where we've done that since I've been here. But we did get going a little better. Obviously, Keenan had a big day, and we were very balanced and got the ball to our guys. And so hopefully we can do more of that on Thursday. This is a huge game for both teams. They're kind of right there, and the NFC's crazy right now with all the winning records over there, and then we're kind of fought ourselves right back into what could be in the mix, and getting this one's huge before 2 home games. So it's a big game for both teams.
Is there still an aura, just not only playing on a holiday, but playing the Cowboys at their place? There's just some kind of.
I mean, it's a, outside of playoff games, I don't know that there's any bigger, stage and game than Thanksgiving. The Cowboys are obviously, that emblem and logo, and the Cowboys are as well known as any team in all of football at any level, obviously. And going to their place and playing on Thanksgiving. Again, you go there once every 8 years, unless you get to go in the preseason. So these NFC teams, you don't cross with them very much. You don't go to their place very much. Going to Lambeau was awesome. A couple years ago. So it's a certainly a big time game. More so because of what's riding on it for our season. Throwing the fact it's Thanksgiving and even better.
What are your thoughts on playing in Jerryville? I think you guys played there when you first opened in 2009.
Yeah, in 2009 we were there. It was a game they tried out 3D glasses, I think, on the big board for the first half. It didn't go so well. Yeah, that was we're in that stretch run of winning 11 in a row. We went there mid-December. That first year was open, so I feel like we've been since in a preseason, but this will be the first time since then in a regular season game.
You had a heated exchange with Anthony in the first quarter the other day. Did you get a chance to see that clip, and was that anything different than a typical Phil Rivers?
No, I didn't see it. I mean, we had a lot of exchanges in the game, some more jolly than others, but. It was there was nothing. There was nothing to it really. He's a competitive. We're all competitors, and he and I are still getting to know one another. I think more than anything, and we both want what's best for the team. And so there were plenty of other exchanges that we were laughing and high fiving. So there's really nothing more to make of that.
Way back, they were targeted as a championship kind of team, and now they're just 5-5. Do you consider them still an elite?
Every team in the NFL has got a chance every week. Obviously, this team has won a lot of football games. You look at their season last year and at what they have over there this year. They've lost some tough games, but we're sitting at 4-6. We know it's going to be a heck of a challenge going to their place.
So everyone has different routines for a Thursday game. What's yours? Do you start scouting them maybe Saturday night, or you wait till Monday, Tuesday?
I wait till Monday. I can't do anything before ahead of time. It messes me up trying to look at another team and then play somebody else. So I wait till Monday and really just try to get a little bit of family time Monday morning and then get started. We were up here a little later than usual last night, but I think you just find a way to get it done. It's not one of those, well, what are you going to not do that you normally do? You find a way to get it all done. And I've always felt every year, we've had Thursday games for years, that I've never felt less prepared going into that game. Once it gets there, and both teams had the same amount of time, and this is one of the few times we've traveled. I feel like we traveled to Denver in 2013, but usually we've been at home on Thursday night, so that is a little different. But we'll be fine. Sometimes the travel can be good too. It gives you another 2.5, 3 hours to be able to study on the road.
What's your assessment of how Hunter Henry has evolved in the offense and gotten more familiar, I guess, in year 2?
Yeah, he hasn't had quite as many touches as he had last year. But really last year, I felt like the second half of the season is when that really started to take off. Obviously, the touchdowns, he led the league last year in touchdowns. But he's still a big part of it. I mean, you saw him. We got the ball to him early on the corner route early in the game, and he had some other catches, some other really close ones that were close to scores. But Hunter's has a big impact on our offense, both run and a pass, and you can be sure that he's certainly in the forefront of my mind when you talk about guys getting the ball to and things we do and we all try to do offensively. He's certainly a big part of it.
In those games where maybe he doesn't get as many touches as he would like, you talk to him, get in his ear a little bit, to kind of keep engaged?
Yeah, I don't think Hunter's not the type of guy you worry about with that. But again, like going back to the other comment, we're all competitors, right? I mean, he wants to contribute and be a part of it and go. But he's great. He knows. That's the one thing about our whole group is they all pull for one another. They know it could be any guy on any week, and maybe this week with Hunter, who knows? But he's certainly a part of the plan every week.
How do you think
You saw Wentz a few weeks ago. Now you see Prescott. Do you take a particular interest in these young quarterbacks that are eventually going to replace you as
Well, they're both really good young players. Obviously, Wentz has got that team rolling in Philly, off to an unbelievable start. And Dak, what he did last year and into this year, both of those guys, I think what stood out for me with both those young guys is how well they've taken care of the football. Neither of them really turn it over very often, and they seem to just be natural leaders. The guys, you can tell a lot watching by how the guys react to them and how they interact with the guys, and they seem to be both guys that are leading their teams, early on in their career.
How do you think Mike looked this weekend?
I thought Mike's continue to ascend. Obviously, we got a few more opportunities last week. Some things he can clean up and keep improving. But Mike's going to keep doing this. I mean, you got to remember he missed 30-something practices. You know, I mean, that's a lot of days of work. But with the more and more reps he's out here, and the more he plays, he's going to continue to improve.
When you're building a connection with a new target, are game reps really important for that, or is that something you can build on in practice?
I think both. There's nothing like game reps. I do think that's where you end up to earn the trust can jump in bigger increments when you have game reps. Even the catch he called an in route, you know, that was a big catch and conversion. That, you know, so those live reps is when it really can make big jumps. But every rep out here is big. Just the more we communicate and get on the same page.
Philip, you were talking about the defense and the job that they've done this whole season, whether sacking the quarterback or getting turnovers.
Yeah, done an awesome job. You know, obviously the pressure those guys are getting up front in the pass game, the way they're swarming to the football and the run. It's a fun group to watch on defense. And like I said, they've done such a heck of a job with the scoring defense, keeping those numbers in the low 20s or in the teens, and that's what, you know, our job is offensively. When they're doing that, we ought to win a lot of football games, and hopefully that's where we're headed here down the home stretch.
Phil, you've been asked this every year I've been here. You always give good answers. So what are you thankful for this Thanksgiving?
Gosh, a lot. Obviously, my faith, my family, certainly. I always say football too. I know I say that every week. I think that it can sound cliche, but I really do. I mean, I think you think without football, for all of us, really, where, you know, we wouldn't all be standing right here, and all the people I've met over the last 14 years and been able to develop friendships and relationships with, you're certainly thankful for that, because we're all from so many different places, so many different backgrounds, and without the game, you don't have those types of interactions. So certainly thankful.
Thanks, Phil.
Good.
All right.
All right, guys, so practice availability, we'll just gather outside the gate and then we'll all come back in.
What time is that about?